O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN Monday afternoon, final hour of the trading day, and we got markets right near session highs. Right now, S&P's up by about 28 points, or 0.4% in the green. We hit a high yesterday, Friday, 6,800, and just recently we got to a high of 67.97 and 75 cents. You're talking about 2 points away from all-time highs as we charge higher. AMD, we're going to get to AMD on their deal. You talk about an acceleration with OpenAI. NASDAQ 100, tech stocks trading higher. That's an all-time high on the futures, folks. Just got there. In the last half hour, 25,252. How's that for the twos and the fives? 25,252. You're up by about 1% in the NASDAQ 100. Dow, not participating. This is an AI rally. Dow in the red by 82 points. And the Russell up by 12. Bitcoin, all-time highs. How about it? 126,730. We're up 2.5%. Ethereum up 4.2%. Ethereum not quite up to those highs of 48.80 that we had in August, but we're trading right now 47.42 for Ethereum. Crude 61.71. We get a little bit of a pop from Friday's action. Gold, you talk about it, folks. Look at this expansion, man, and you're doing it with volume. Okay, gold just keeps going. Up $79 or 2% at $39.87. You take a look at the weekly on gold. Now, doesn't show any volume this week yet, but look at the ramp up. Just keeps happening, man. All right, last week's volume, the most volume this market has had since April 21st. Jump over to silver. Look at the silver volume last week. Even more pronounced, right? Silver, that's the most weekly volume the silver contracts traded since April of last year. Okay, that's not the April volatility and tariffs. That's April of last year when metals really started ratcheting higher. You put it back to a daily, and look at just the concentrated volume up here on this acceleration today. 77,000 contracts. We'll see how silver on the daily, but strong numbers across the board on metals. We jump to yields. Lower price, higher yield. The 10-year right now, about 4.18, 4.17. We're ticking around. Lower price, higher yield. You're down by 10 ticks, so 4.17, the yield on the 10-year. Higher yield. And we were with a stronger dollar, and we back off a bit. We do have higher yields, but look at that run early this morning, right? 98.50, even with higher yields. Weakness in this dollar. As yields are at the highs for the day, and the dollar right now is 40 cents off the high. 98.11 on that dollar. Okay. There's AMD, 25% higher, but we're approaching the intraday lows. You're up to 227 on this equity. You're up by $41. Now, you jump over to AMD. You're talking about a company with about 1.6 billion shares outstanding. You're up $40. That's going to put it somewhere in the neighborhood of about a $65 billion market cap ad. You're at $333 billion. You came in at about 270 yesterday, maybe 265. So tremendous ad, up 25%. You jump over to NVIDIA, and we'll jump to the article. You're down by $1.72 or almost 0.9%. 25 billion shares outstanding. So NVIDIA's market cap off about 50 billion, right? So AMD's market cap up 65 billion. NVIDIA's market cap down by about 45 billion, somewhere in that range. We jump around some of the other tech stocks. Google catching a bid, up by almost $5, up 2%. These tech stocks, man. Amazon was dramatically lower and got it all back. That's a $5 move to 221.48. The acceleration on the open. We jump to some of the other AI players. Oracle up by more than 2% today right now. You jump over to Broadcom. Look at that volatility on that news. Broadcom off by 0.5% right now. Metashares gets it all back. That's a $25 move in both directions. Down to $6.90, back to $7.15 right now. All right, let's jump over to the headline. So AMD inks a deal with OpenAI. that triggers an explosive rally. Now, OpenAI, for making this deal, OpenAI is going to deploy 6 gigawatts worth of AMD graphics processing. Folks, a gigawatt is like a million houses, okay? Let's look at it. It's 750,000 to a million houses. Yeah, 1 gigawatt can power approximately 750,000 homes, okay? And of course, it varies, but that's what you're talking about. And this deal is 6 of them, worth of AMD graphics processing units over multiple years. It's going to start next year. And for that deal, they get 160 million warrants. Where is it? And there's different tranches. There it is. They'll have the ability to buy as many as 160 million, depending on hitting certain milestones. That's 10% of the outstanding stock. I just went over how they have 1.6 billion shares, right? And they just gave AMD 160 million options, warrants, at different price tranches. The final level is 600. So if it hits 600, they get everything. Okay, and there's certain other areas that are predicated on certain milestones. The first one is reaching, I think, 1 gigawatt, and they reach the first tranche. You know, this industry is getting a lot of attention for the circulatory nature of all the investments, right? You know, last week we had OpenAI investing in NVIDIA. NVIDIA buys Oracle. It just goes on and on. And now you get it here. But look at the difference in these numbers, man. NVIDIA, they're in a world of their own. AMD doesn't even show up on these. Now, this is quarterly numbers, okay? And it's pretty remarkable you don't show up when you're doing $3 billion almost. AMD's revenue is projected to reach $6.55 billion when you're talking about this data center revenue this year. Well, they're hoping to get up to the $100 billion mark by using this. Yeah, and under the agreement, the AMD stock will vest when the first gigawatt of computing is deployed, and that's going to start in the second half of next year. AMD MI450 chips, and then they're going to get further generations of those chips going down the line. Quite a number. Up by 25% to 206. Markets in the green. We're coming back with our man Steve Rhodes, folks. Don't go away.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.